I did a project where I was Bulma, and I
Oh,
looked
really?
up her voice, and I was like, I mean, I'm not gonna match that exactly, but I will speak. I will speak in that cadence.
I will speak, goddammit, and you will hear me.
You will listen.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Tournament of Power Bridge interview. Today I have CrystalAvenger, who was the voice of one of the voices for Kefla, and then also Kale. I think a couple other voices too. Did I miss any big ones?
I think no big ones. I think there are a few here and there.
You were the I think his name was Shansa. You were the little dude with the spikes.
Yeah, the little guy.
I'm trying to remember if you might have been one other character, but I think those were your main characters. But yes,
I think that's pretty much it. Otherwise, I guess they don't matter. They don't matter.
just small. I mean, freaking half of it, over half of it was voiced by Reverb, and then like.
This is true.
In terms of the minor characters, and then the other half are voiced by me, and then like a small percent, we got a couple people to do. But anyways, how you doing today?
I am doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Not sure how many more of these interviews I was gonna do, but especially after having anime-eyed girl who was Caulifla and Kefla on here last time, I definitely wanted to have you on to kind of get your 2 cents on that experience. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Alright.
But I'm glad to have you on.
I'm glad to be here.
If you've watched any of the interviews, you know the first question is an icebreaker. Now, actually, I did not come prepared. I meant to come up with a new question because we finally got a yes on this question last time. I was supposed to come up with a new icebreaker question, but I did not. So I'm just going to ask the same one and see what happens. So, What do you think about pineapple on pizza? Do you like it or no?
I honestly don't think, like, you should be, like that crucified about it, because people have such a mob mentality about pizza, which they hold it so close to their hearts.
They
really
do.
And I'm like, you know what? I feel like pineapple on pizza, in some scenarios, I can understand why you'd like it, because it's like a different texture, and it's a lot cooler.
Yeah.
Then again, I've never had it, so maybe I would absolutely hate it. Or maybe I would love it.
Oh snap, I didn't know that you never had it.
Mm-mm.
Well, what's your favorite type of pizza then?
I'm so boring, just regular cheese.
Dude, honestly, I usually... If I'm at a party and it's like a choice between... Usually at like parties, it's like cheese, pepperoni, and sausage, like exclusively. I go with cheese. I'm not a huge like meat topping kind of guy. I usually prefer just cheese, or I like peppers and onions, like veggies.
Oh yeah, those are good.
And then Hawaiian is my favorite, but I like veggies. I'm usually at parties, it's usually between like cheese, pepperoni, and sauces, and I always choose cheese. So I'm with you on that one, honestly.
And there's a reason why cheese like runs out first, because people recognize that you can't always be sure that the meat you're getting is high quality.
That's true.
And also, just cheese pizza itself is great, and you don't have to add vegetables. Really help, but you don't have to like add anything. Like that's already a whole thing on its own.
Oh, for sure, for sure. You don't have to add anything. Yeah, I agree. Well, that's cool. Well, maybe this interview will make you go and try it sometime.
I will give you updates if I do end up trying that pineapple pizza.
Yes, please do. So, I know it was a long time ago. I think we're coming up on, I think, the 3rd-year anniversary of Tournament of Power Abridged.
Really?
Which is crazy, yeah.
That is absolutely insanity.
Because it started at the beginning of the pandemic, so...
Oh, yep, I'm scrolling up. Yeah, 2020.
Yeah, it's been, yeah. Like,
that's crazy.
It's been a long time, right? So it's been a while probably since you've thought about it, but what was going on with you, and what were your thoughts when you came upon the casting call for Tournament of Power Bridge and you went to audition?
I know it was one of the earlier things I auditioned for, just because it was in 2020, and that's when I started voice acting during the pandemic, because like so many other people, I mean, I had all this free time. I don't remember why, but I had a Q2U mic, a convertible mic from, I think I was going to do a podcast or something with my family, and I just never did it.
Aw, that's
so
too bad.
Yeah, but we never really tried, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
But I got on Casting Call Club because I used to use it when I was in like middle school, and I remembered it suddenly, and I was like, oh, I have this microphone, I might as well do it, and it's made me love voice acting a lot. So there was, starting out, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just, any project that was open, I was like, this looks cool. As long as it wasn't a Gacha Life, I was like, let's go.
No, yeah, definitely. Well, and were you a Dragon Ball fan, or did you just like decide to audition for it because you were just looking for stuff?
Well, honestly, I've never seen like an actual episode of Dragon Ball.
Really?
Like, yeah, no, which is interesting because it's so high in the cultural consciousness that I'm surprised personally that I've never like accidentally stumbled upon an episode of Dragon Ball.
It's kind of hard to avoid, yeah.
But partly it was because I was just looking for anything, and partly because this seemed like it was high enough quality. Like, you can tell when some of the stuff on Casting Call, or just any casting site, is kind of sketch.
Yeah. Definitely.
And this looked like it was put together, and I was like, I'll audition for this.
Well, I appreciate that, and that's partly why, you know, I couldn't offer too much in terms of payment because I was a teacher. So at the time, I could only offer so much, but I wanted to offer something to show that I was serious about it, even if it was just a small amount. So I'm glad it came off that way. And I do also recall, because I remember at the time, no offense to people who are currently out auditioning for Kale, a lot of the voices for Kale were good, but a lot of people struggled with the screaming. And I was like, man, I don't know who I'm gonna cast. Like, I'm gonna have to. I was feeling like I was gonna have to look elsewhere. I was getting kind of worried. And I remember it was actually Reverb that told me that his friend was gonna go and audition for it, and that I should totally cast you.
He sent me the link to the thing. That I remember now. He literally got on call with me, and he's like, we're gonna practice this, and I was like, okay. This is paid, so I completely forgot about that. Yeah.
Oh, so you guys practice together? That's cool.
Yeah. Sometimes we haven't in a while, but sometimes we would, if we found auditions we thought the other person would do well. He carried me a lot more than I carried him. I'll have to admit. He sent me a lot of auditions, and I really appreciate it. I'm lazy with messaging.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same.
But if we had something like that, we would get on call and coach each other about it.
That's really cool. That's awesome. Yeah, no,
yeah.
You were a far step above the people I had, at least at the time, heard auditions from, and the screaming, kind of like, the screaming was, I think, a much bigger deal than a lot of people gave it when they did their audition, and that's honestly what sold me on Trickfire, too.
You go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you're gonna do Dragon Ball, you gotta be able to do it, you know?
That's what I was about to say, like, isn't Dragon Ball like 90% screaming?
Well, and I think I knew the scripts were gonna change a little, but I think for most of the roles that involved screaming, where I knew was gonna be a consistent, important thing, I'm pretty sure in the role I said you need to be able to make sure that you can do the screaming. I just think some people didn't realize that they weren't able to step outside themselves and realize they needed to improve it for those that did audition. So, especially
it's hard because when you're starting voice acting, you're either so scared of clipping that you just go or you don't care at all and you clip like crazy and you can't use any of that audio.
It takes a lot of practice, both on the voice acting end and on the editing end. I had to practice a lot for screaming, just to, I wasn't used to screaming until I had to scream for Jiren in the finale and a little bit in the episode prior. I had to practice and do lots of takes, because I had never done it like that intense and for like that long of duration of screams. Like, I had done quick little screams, but nothing as intense as what was required, so it takes a lot of practice and skill to get it just right, but yeah, you did a fantastic job, so that's why you're here today. I
never like looking back on my old performances just because, and I should like it because I do like watching the video. Sometimes I'll just like go back and I'll be like, oh, I remember this is fun, let's watch it.
Yeah.
But I hate hearing my old because I feel like I've improved a lot, and I hate hearing how I could have done better and then being like, why did I make that decision? Why did I do it like that?
It's the voice acting hindsight is even higher than normal hindsight. You always like instantly picture like a better take.
Mm-hmm. You're like, always hyper aware, and it's horrible.
It's tough. It really is. I do the same for my characters.
And the problem is you have to eventually submit your lines. You can't just keep going over and over them. Like, you have to submit them, but even once you submit them, you're still gonna not like your takes.
Yeah, I know.
Once in a while, yeah, but...
Yeah, well, and I find it funny, and I found it too with a lot of people I've listened to their audio. There are some actors who like giving me, like, minutes long of, like, the same line over and over. I won't name names, but, and I usually end up taking one of their first two. And for me, personally, when I do it for myself, sometimes I'll, like, experiment, just because it's mine, so I, like, it's a lot easier for me to, like, go through. I'll do, like, a minute's worth of takes, or, like, 40 seconds worth of takes, and, like, the first one will end up being the one I like the best, and the other ones are just, like, too forced. So, like, honestly, a lot of the times your gut feeling in the moment is pretty close to what's you're gonna be your best take.
Yeah, I found usually, and I've gotten a lot better about not doing as many takes because I used to be so bad about that. Mm-hmm. But I found usually that unless you literally like stuttered or you messed up on a word or you just start cursing in the middle of your take, usually the first one or two takes are gonna be your best.
Yeah, I agree. Who is your favorite character in the Abridged series besides your own? Besides anyone that you played?
Goku.
Goku, really?
Yeah, yeah, he's so silly. I don't know. He's just a silly guy doing silly things all over the place.
That's true.
I can't really describe it any more than that. It's just, I just think he's like a silly little guy. I mean, not little because he's buff, but like,
the guy, yeah.
he's the guy.
He is the guy. He is indeed the guy. Yeah, I like him too, and I like the way Trick portrays him, and
I love this portrayal. It's so great.
His voice fits the goofy part well, and he can get serious really well too. That's really that's always been how I've thought of Goku. At least my inspiration behind thinking about Goku is Sean Schemmel, and I've just always appreciated how easily and how smoothly he can switch the switch on from being like goofy to like being serious all of a sudden. Always just like drew my attention anytime I was watching or listening to his actor, and Trick's able to do the same thing. What was your favorite episode in the Abridged?
My favorite episode? I don't remember what number it was, or I don't think it was 1, but the first time that Kefla appeared, because then I got to see, I don't remember which episode it was that we did so many lines for Kefla, but I got to see how that turned out because I was really curious how all the syncing would sound. And
it turned out great. You guys did so
good. It turned out pretty cool. Like, yeah. I have to admit, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I think Anime Odd Girl said the exact same thing. She was like, I don't remember the episode number, but whenever Kefla was introduced, and then I not to re-explain it to people who've been watching the interviews, but Kefla was first introduced in episode 3, but she didn't really say much other than fusing, and then she said like one thing, and then all of episode 4, the first half of episode 4, was like the beginning and end of Kefla's fight. So probably episode 4 if I had to guess.
It was probably that then.
Yeah, I remember we were working a lot to make sure that all that stuff was synced for Kefla, so that's definitely one of the questions I wanted to ask you just to get your perspective. Can you shed some light just from your end how that whole process went and what you were thinking and doing as you were going through it?
I mean, I was a little bit Like, not really, but I was a little bit nervous during it just because I didn't want to make it a nightmare to edit. So I was thinking the whole time, I was like, I want to match the timing to the best of my abilities, but I was also scared, like, but I also want to do a good job doing a realistic performance while also not losing my character voice. And the whole time I was like, eee. But honestly, it was fun because Kefla is mostly a bunch of screaming.
That's true.
So it did. My sister has walked by multiple times, or when I was recording Kefla, and I remember her opening my door one time and like screaming at me to shut my mouth because I had been screaming like all afternoon. And she's like, I thought you were dying. Like I was gonna call someone, and I was like, so I did a good job.
That's how you know. I've always been scared that like neighbors were gonna like call the cops on me, especially when I was recording for the finale. I was always scared someone was gonna like walk up and like ask if I was okay or like get really pissed at me for screaming. I was always that's the worry. Especially as a like shonen anime voice actor, that's always the worry, man. So that is pretty funny. But I mean, the audio turned out terrific. I mean, I of course had to sync them, but it really wasn't too hard. I just had to take out little spaces here and there, but it's because you two did such a good job going off of each other. And I think AEG was saying that she let you record first.
Yeah, it was usually me going
so
first.
You were really like establishing how the lines were gonna go, which I think is pretty cool.
Which was also nerve-wracking, because I think that she's a really great voice actress, and I was also scared during it, like, oh, am I gonna do a take that she's gonna internally think, oh, this sucks, but I have to match it. I was like, be a good example, be a good example.
It sounded like she liked the leads that you took, so I think it turned out great.
That's good, that's good.
Yeah, definitely.
You also have to give yourself credit, because not only did you sync it, but you helped organize how we would do it, because I'm sure under, like, a different director, potentially that could have turned out a mess. But you had the good foresight to ask us to record and base our takes off of each other's, and to communicate like that.
Yeah, definitely. And syncing it was a blast. I have so much, I get, like, a satisfaction from, like, syncing things together. I guess that's why I enjoy audio and video editing, and it was just really fun to take out little spaces and then just play it back and hear you two talking at the same time. It was just so cool. I was like having little nerd freakouts while I was editing. I was like, oh my god, this is so awesome, hearing you two at the same time. So yeah, no, it all came together great. I know we had to do a lot of retakes on the screens because there were so many different ones. There
were a lot of different screens, but that's Dragon Ball.
It really is. So it was a lot of work, but I think it really did pay off. That's definitely one of the moments in the series I look back on. Like, that's one of the things I think about when I think about the Abridged series, for sure. And I think a lot of other people do as well.
Yeah, and I've never done, and I haven't yet again done syncing like that, where I have a character that's literally supposed to be matching timing with someone else. So, I mean, that's a unique experience, like, wholly that I've had to this project. So
yeah, and yeah, just the fact that you guys had to do it remotely and not together, like sitting in the same room, yeah, it just makes it all the more challenging. But yeah, it was a very awesome experience, I'm sure, for everyone.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah. Were there any other characters in the casting call or minor characters that came up in the Abridged series that you would have loved to have given a try, or characters that you wish you had been cast for?
I don't know. I don't feel like I have any specific connection with any of the characters, and this might have to do with me never watching Dragon Ball otherwise.
That's true.
So when I think of, like, my dream characters, I think of, like, I don't know, Asuka from Evangelion. I think of, like, Sailor Moon. I think of those types of things. I never think of a Dragon Ball character just because I'm not familiar with them.
That's true. I guess I hadn't thought about that when I was reading out the question. I forgot that you hadn't watched Dragon Ball, so you might not have.
I mean, it's still a fair question. Like, what if you just wrote, like, the best character description and the coolest sample lines for the casting call that everyone was like, "Ah, best character." Now, if you did that, I probably would have forgotten because that was 2 years ago and I've slept since then.
True. True. I was telling AEG too not to start a competition depending on if you guys come back to audition for the Zamasu arc, but I was definitely wondering if one of you two would end up auditioning for Bulma, because I feel like either of you could do a good Bulma. And she's like the main female character of the Zamasu arc. I don't know.
You know what? We might just have to start a competition. You can't tell voice actors not to compete with each other. That's all we do.
That's true. I mean, yeah, that's literally what the audition process is. I don't know if you know what Bulma sounds like, but
I remember I did some project. I did a project where I was Bulma, and I looked up her voice, and I was like, I mean, I'm not gonna match that exactly, but I will speak. I will speak in that cadence.
I will speak, goddammit, and you will hear me.
You will listen.
Now, you mentioned you've been voice acting. You kind of like just started voice acting ever since this project started, so would you mind sharing some of the projects you've had the pleasure of being in?
Yeah, of course. God, there's a lot. I've been a little bit busy. But, I mean, since I started, in whatever month it was in 2020, I've been very busy. I'm actually looking to pursue VA as, like, my actual career.
Oh, awesome.
And, yeah. Which is very scary because getting into it is very expensive. Like, I'm having my demo produced, and that is a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. That's why I haven't made one yet.
That's why I've been putting it off, because I'm like, I want to wait till I'm ready, but lately I've been like, okay, well, I want to get auditions. I'm sick of waiting. If I want to, I'm going to have to jump in. And if I really hate it, I can redo it later for another how many dollars.
Sure.
But yeah, since then I've taken actually a few classes. I've gone to a lot of workshops. Let's see, like project-wise, I don't know if you saw, it kind of went viral a few weeks ago, the SpongeBob Rehydrated movie. I was a very small bit part in that. I was Sandy, and I'm on some other stuff in their channel where Sandy is in it a lot more.
Oh, you know, I think I caught wind of that, but I didn't end up checking it out, but I did not know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it like in the first day it got like 500,000, and I think it's at 1.5 million now. Which I'm like,
wow.
I'm such a bit part in that. I'm one, but on their channel I'm in it a lot more, and I was like, dang. And like all these people are commenting, like Saber Spark, and I don't even remember who else. And I was like, oh Jesus Christ.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Let's see. I was in a few games, but I cannot. It was some of these I have. It's been a while since I've been in them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'm gonna be in Sonic fan series, which is hopefully coming out soon, called Regicide. Sonic Regicide. Really cool.
Okay.
Made by a good friend of mine. Let's see. I'm in this really cool Sailor Moon fan dub thing, which works to preserve the original intent of the creators. Like,
okay.
It's just, I've been doing a lot of stuff. It's just really cool.
That's awesome. Well, I didn't know you were pursuing voice acting full time, so I wish you the best of luck of that, and I'm glad the fact that you've been keeping busy with it means you've been improving and doing what you want to do, so that's fantastic.
I sure hope I've been improving. I pray to God.
I mean, you started pretty good. You were already a cut above people two or 3 years ago.
You.
So I'm assuming after all the workshops and classes, I'm sure you've been getting better. So
I hope so. Unless it's been like taking my voice acting essence out of me, and I've like slowly been like Benjamin Buttoning like worse.
No way. No way. That would suck if that was how that worked.
That would really suck. Like one day I realized, oh no, it's all gone.
My voice acting magic. It's all gone.
It's all gone. Fell down the well.
We're kind of thinking about the different things you're doing. Do you have any goals that you're looking to reach in this next year? I'm guessing getting the demo reel done is one of them, right?
Getting my demo reel done, definitely. Reaching out and actually getting represented by an agency, because I'll just say I live in Texas, so I live near Dallas. Which is awesome for me, voice acting wise, because it is like a major hub for that. So I'm hoping to actually get represented by an agency, get my headshots done, get my demo done, and actually enter into the professional voice world. So I guess my one goal is to get one, like, non-hobbyist project. Like, to get one actually, like, professional project. I don't care what it is. It could be one line. It could be, like, humming. It could be wah-wah work. I don't care. I want to get my foot in the door.
Yeah, definitely.
That's my goal.
That's awesome. Well, the fact that you're in a hub for that is already a great start. It's unfortunate that voice acting is I mean, you can do some of it remote, but location is definitely important. So
It is.
That's great you're there, because one of my friends, the voice of Roshi, actually, he was considering moving to Texas as well, because he's like been a professional voice actor, and he has an agency that he's represented by. And so he was thinking, though, of going in that area because he knew that it was a hub down there. So the fact that you're already there, I know, is already a great start. So
yeah, I don't know if I would actually... Sadly, I don't know if I would be able to do it professionally or, like, consider it if I wasn't already here. Because I wouldn't move down here for it if I was... Because it's a very turbulent work.
Right.
So I wouldn't uproot my life for it. So that probably would have been the end of my journey if I lived, like, I don't know, in Kalamazoo.
Kalamazoo. That's true. Well, best of luck to you. I hope we hear good things from you, and whatever role it is, I hope you land it. And I'm excited to hear demo. I love hearing demo reels, even though I haven't made one yet, and I'm kind of shifting towards video editing right now and focused on my channel. I still love hearing demo reels, especially people I've worked with, so I'm excited to hear how that comes out, and I hope you do land something, because you definitely deserve it.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Any last thoughts or any social medias that you want to plug so people can see what you're up to?
Social media-wise, I do have a voice acting channel, which I don't remember if I've sent to you, but if not, I will send it now. It's CrystalAvenger VA, but let me get the link to that, because I don't have a custom URL yet, which I should apply for, because I can.
Yeah, if you want, you can send... I don't know if the notification is going to go through during the recording. If you want, you can send it after we're fully done. And then I'll put it in the description.
Yeah, you can do... I already sent it through DMs. DMs?
Okay.
DMs.
Well, then I didn't get any pings, so I guess it worked out then. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Continue.
Nah, you're good. I don't even remember what I was saying.
Whoops.
But yeah, that's my voice acting channel. I upload little silly skits, fan dubs, covers, dumb things there. Just mostly practice for my voice acting. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool. Well, yeah, I had no idea about that channel, so I'll definitely go and subscribe right after this. And you guys should too. You guys at home, go subscribe.
Yes, please.
But yeah, thank you so much for coming on for the interview. Thanks for taking the time to do it. It's been a lot of fun, and it was great having you on here and having you on for the Tournament of Power Abridged.
Yeah, I've been very glad to be part of this project.
I'm glad. Well, thank you for coming on again, and thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Goodbye.